Hey, I'm Marcus.
And I'm Kogass.
We are working class nerds.
Cue the intro.
That's right. We are Working Class Nerds, the podcast that gives you no information about your favorite information. And today is Thursday, June 3rd, 2021. You can find this, I Don't Know What I'm Doing podcast on Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and anywhere you can find these wonderful podcasts in the galaxy, far, far away. You can also watch me stream video games at twitch.tv/MarcusB814. You can find the both of us on Twitter. I am at MarcusB814.
And I am at Kogass_.
This week's episode, we have Kogass back to talk to us about PvP and SWTOR and talk about his new YouTube channel that is freaking amazing. So welcome back, dude. And what have you been up to?
Thank you. Oh, man, you stole my thunder. I've been working on a brand new, well, not brand new, but I've been working on making new YouTube videos and having a lot of the ranked information out there for people to see. I know it's very convoluted, very difficult to get the actual information on PvP and Star Wars and all those, and just general information about what you want online. So I've started to dedicate my channel to that. The first thing is my series on, I'm calling it the Ultimate Vengeance Juggernaut PvP Guide. It's a little bit of a mouthful.
That is a mouthful. I just want to circle back before we get into the Ultimate Guide of Vengeance Juggernaut. So when we talk about ranked, so can you explain to people what ranked PvP is in SWTOR?
Yeah. So PvP has two modes. You have regs, where you just queue up, and it can be anywhere between 4v4 maps and 8v8 maps. And ranked PvP is pretty much death arenas, 4v4 maps. You queue up, you're on random teams, and the roles are mirrored. So if you have 4 DPS, the other team will have 4 DPS. If you have one tank, the other team will have one tank. And, if you have a tank healer match, you'll have a tank healer on both teams. And if you just have a healer, the other team should have a healer. So
should is the key word, right?
Should is the key word. Sometimes things don't work out perfectly, but it's been better this season than in previous seasons.
And so in ranked, do you have to have, so if I started playing SWTOR's PvP today, I hit level 75, can I queue for ranked instantly, or do I have to earn a certain rank in something else to be able to do it?
There are two things that are holding you back as soon as you hit level 75. First, you have to have item level, gear level 306. And then the second thing is going to be a Valor rating of 25 or higher. However, I'm going to be coming out with a YouTube video that's going to discuss more things titled, "Are You Ready to Queue for Ranked PvP?"
My answer is no, but getting deeper into that, how do you get your Valor rank to go up?
In order to get your Valor rank up, you just have to queue for regular PvP matches. You can queue for that while you're leveling or while you're at level 75. There are some things that you can do, some shortcuts. One of the login rewards, I do believe, is a Valor boost. So you can actually get a few levels out of Valor boost just by using one of those login rewards.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Now, would you say you mostly do ranked PvP or regular PvP?
I would say I mostly play ranked PvP. There are people and times that I just queue up for regs, Galactic Seasons. Whenever I get that regs daily or the weekly for regs, I definitely will queue up and get those done.
What is so now getting into the whole idea of queuing and then deciding to do your YouTube channel. So what made you want to make this YouTube channel something like that has to do with guides for being a Vengeance Juggernaut? Like, what made you decide that, hey, the light bulb goes off in your head and you're like, hey, I want to make YouTube videos?
The desire has always been in there. I've actually tried to get a YouTube video out back when Osus was a thing in 258 gear, and I had all my slides ready, and all I had to do was the voiceover for it, and I just found the voiceover very daunting, and it is the actual speaking of it. I have to record like 3 or 4 times before I say it correctly, and I'm taking like 5-second clips of sound to edit in all together. The thing that I really wanted to get it going is that the new season started, and I really want people to get back into ranked PvP. The player base pool in ranked PvP is really small, and there's a lot of gatekeeping in ranked PvP. Players learn the hard way, and since they have to learn the hard way, it's kind of a group mentality or unwritten rule where, well, we had to learn the hard way, so you have to learn the hard way if you want to get into ranked PvP and you want to get those rewards, or you want to be able to get better at that game or get into that. So you have to go through the same trial by fire I did.
Right. But I guess maybe maybe like, let me ask this. So you decided to make these YouTube videos back when Osus was a thing, and you didn't
I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it done. It's hard.
Yeah, so you didn't get it done. But what makes this different? This time different than the last time? And is it because there is no guides out there like this?
There are really no guides out there. There's a guy, Mark Biggs. Biggs does a ton of stuff with ranked PvP, and he started doing something similar. And there are a few others out there, but Cease is another one. But I find the information's good, but sometimes it's dry, and I wanna infuse energy into that. And so getting the information out there and having it not be dry is very hard and difficult, right? You have to first know the information, so that's going to be its own hard thing to overcome, and then you have to figure out a way to relay this information to come out. I just came out with a gearing guide that took me several hours to do, and it's only 15 minutes long, but there's a lot of
long video.
It's a decent amount of time to just clear out everything that I want to talk about. And some of these other guys that I've seen on YouTube, they talk about gear, they talk about what you should do, but the entire guide is maybe half an hour long, and nowhere close does that cover what you need it to cover for getting into ranked PvP. So I really want to dig into the weeds and what makes a Vengeance Juggernaut usable in PvP, because there's not a lot of people that play Vengeance Juggernauts. And if you look at the tiers and how players break down what class is doing well in PvP, Juggernauts are actually pretty close to the bottom.
That's interesting to hear, because when I think of, because I always watch your stream, and when I watch your stream, I always see you playing as a Jug, and I don't actually watch any other PvP streamer that does ranked PvP. So I assume that, it's just a normal thing that a Jug is one of the main ranked PvP players. You know what I mean? Or classes, I should say.
Yeah. No, definitely. I definitely understand that. There's a couple breakdowns out there. For example, PTs are semi-popular. Marauders, Assassins, and Operatives. I mean, these are the seasons for those classes. These stealth out classes have a lot of burst out of stealth. They have a lot of resets, and you kind of learn that these classes with hard resets on their health aren't really a main priority target, because they can just stealth out and heal back up to full. So unless somebody's able to chase them down and get them, it's not a very easy fight to win, and it's almost wasted DPS on them.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
Exactly.
Ha! I don't know. For me, the thing for a guide, right? Anytime, like I do Nightmare and hard mode rating, right? So anytime I have to watch a guide, I want that guide to be as simple as possible. I don't want a 35-minute guide explaining one boss fight, right? I need you to get down to the nitty-gritty and tell me what the differences are. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I call it like the cliff notes. So in your guides, like for me, so I watch this guide on Nightmare Explosive Conflict, and he breaks down the Nightmare version of these fights, and he's like, look at, I am only going over the Nightmare version of these fights. I'm not discussing anything that is in hard mode or story mode. I'm only discussing the changes from Nightmare to keep the fight short. What I appreciate about that is they're not wasting your time, because if you're doing the hardest content, you don't need to know about the other stuff. Where for you in your guides, you're breaking down each part of what you need to do to be successful in the ranked PvP. And would you say yours would work for regs as well, or is it really just built for ranked?
Well, it would absolutely work for regs, and that's something that I found out with my gearing video. It actually covers what people would be doing in PvE rating, essentially, as well. You know, the 110% accuracy build would work. I mean, I pretty much use that build for my Nightmare rating and Legacy and new Nightmare levels. Now, is it 100% successful? I'm more casually Nightmare rating than anything else, but it's definitely a build that you're able to use outside of just ranked PvP.
That's good. And two, it's really good to see new players come out and make videos, guides, and everything, because sometimes some of the guides out there are from, you know, earlier expansions that aren't relevant anymore. You know what I mean? So anytime somebody takes the time to make a new YouTube video series, it's really awesome, or I appreciate the hell out of it, because I want to be able to go to your guide and say, okay, I'm going to attempt PvP. I play a jug. What do I got to do? And you're going to have a stat sheet. You're going to explain it. You're going to talk to me about my rotation. You're going to talk to me about all the things that I need to know. And it's almost like I'm going to get a one-stop shop. And for me, if that's what your main is going to be for PvP, then that's what you want, is somebody to be proficient at that class, to be able to push you to make, like, help make the choices for you. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Look, you need 4 augments of this. You need 3 augments of this. You know what I mean? You want somebody to, or myself, I'm really lazy when it comes to this shit. So if I like hearing somebody say, just go get, for like a tank, go get 4 absorb, go get 4 shield, and go get, you know, whatever else for your augments. You know what I mean? Or get all shield. You know what I mean? I like somebody to tell me that. I don't want to have to like figure it out. I just want to be told.
Yeah, and in my video, I actually break down the exact enhancements that you need for everything. Getting the exact ones in this expansion is extremely difficult, but the knowledge is right there for you. This is the one that you need to get, you know, for enhancements and for augments, your earpieces, your implants, you know, armorings, your hilt, the mods. It's all broken down there. And I think I did my very best to break it down as simple as you want. And then I also told you, you know, if you don't want, if this is too long, too complicated for you, just go to this, and this timestamp for the information that you want. And it's just a big old screen that tells you exactly what you want.
And that's perfect, because that's, some people are like that. Some people are going to watch the whole video, but for you, and I'm answering for you, but the way I see it is, you don't care which part that they want. Just come check out my video and let me help you.
Right. And I'm trying to break that mold with you know, the whole, everybody has to learn by trial by fire. I'm trying to break that mold with ranked PvP, and I have to go with what I know. And what I know is Vengeance Juggernaut, and what I know is the minimum basic requirements to get into ranked PvP and to win a match.
Well, let's not go that far, man.
Oh, you can win a match, Marcus. You can queue up and win a match.
It's not that you're going to win a match. It's, are you going to be able to survive the toxicity during the match? But that's a topic for another day. Anyway, let's go to these videos. Break down your episodes. Like, which videos are out there for us right now that you've released?
All right. So I went ahead. The first video I did was just utilities. I'm building, right? I'm building a strong foundation here. So the first video is utilities. What utilities should be using should you be using for your ranked or regs PvP? And I discuss how they kind of work together, because in PvP, slows and roots are your biggest enemy. And jugs don't have a natural way to break these roots. A lot of them are built into your utilities. So I discussed that in like the utility build and why I take the utilities that I take. Some people may agree with them. Some people may not, but it's a good starting point. With your utilities, I also talk a little bit. After that, I go into your defensive cooldowns. A general guide, right? A general guide of how to rotate your defensive cooldowns. What's going to be strong against what? What's the general, consensus on how I break down my cooldowns? And the big thing about the 4v4 arenas, and again, this is all tailored mainly towards ranked. So, the big thing about arenas is who's going to be the last person standing. That doesn't mean who's going to be able to that doesn't mean who's going to be able to do the most damage. Doesn't mean, if you do 10 million damage and I do 3 million damage, but my team wins, did I outperform you? There's going to be a lot that goes into that question. That's a very loaded question. You may have done 10 million damage, but if you did 5 million into a Marauder who stealths out and heals up 3 times, is that 5 million damage actually useful? If you do another 2 million damage towards me, then that's useful, because then I don't have a strong stealth out. I don't have a reset on my health for that. So that's kind of where I go into the utility guides and defensive cooldowns and like kind of what you're looking for to use as a juggernaut. And then my other video that I have is set pieces and tactical items, which I discuss how you're going to be using different tactical items and different set piece bonuses for every for either regs or ranked PvP. I definitely, like you said, I do integrate regs into that because it can be useful. And the tactical item discussion is, for the most part, you want to have grit teeth, but you're also going to want to have life warden in your inventory for some of those matches where it can go to around 3 and you're not going to be able to get a second enraged defense off. So you're going to use life warden. And then the last video that I have out is going to be your complete gear breakdown. And like I said, that's going to be used for PvP and PvE. I've talked about amplifiers. I talk about your left side. I talk about everything else. And these are all the foundation videos. These are all the starting building blocks for what you're going to be able to do. And I'm still working on a few more. But then once I have all of these videos compiled, I can go, okay, all of these videos are going to make the Ultimate Vengeance Juggernaut PvP guide. All of these together are now the guide that you're going to want to use. And now I can discuss how it's all being wound up into a ranked PvP match, because there's going to be 5 or 6 of these used right away in a match within the first 30 seconds. And if you don't have the background knowledge to understand what's going on, you're going to be completely lost. So I'm going to break everything down one piece at a time, one part at a time, and then we're going to put it all together. That's the whole goal of the guide right now.
Okay, so you finish the guide, you're going to make one giant video, like take them all. So there'll be separate sections for each one, and then you're going to make one big one in the end, all broken down so everything is together, time-stamped. What comes next?
General PvP guides, map breakdowns, strategies. What do I need to know? Am I ready? There's still so much more information that can be used that is not discussed in PvP matches. What are your primary targets going to be? What are you looking at? What cooldowns do you need to worry about? What attacks do you need to worry about from other players? Why can't I use my phase walk when I'm always against these mercs? What's preventing me from doing things?
Okay.
There's still a lot of building up. I'm starting very specific, and then with the juggernauts, and then I'll go really wide with general PvP, ranked PvP discussions.
Awesome. So now let's talk about your Twitch channel, because yesterday you received a package in the mail.
I did.
So what
Absolutely.
was in the package, Kogass?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Oh man, we got some Star Wars swag in the box.
Well, that's sweet. So how did this all come to be?
So,
And wait, what is it?
it's some SWTOR swag to be specific. So,
Like real SWTOR swag?
like this is it's got the SWTOR logo on it. It doesn't say
Wow.
SWTOR, but it says Star Wars, and you got the logo on it. We've got a Bastila Shan Funko Pop. We got a Darth Revan, a Jedi Knight Revan. You know that new armor set that came out a few months
the Prodigal Jedi armor set. Yep.
Yeah, that's in a Funko Pop right now.
So you can just go into the store and buy those, or do you have to order them?
I think you had to order them online. I ordered 2 of them for giveaways.
Whoa. I'll be in those giveaways for sure.
I know. Rigged. I'm going to call it right now.
Is right. Yeah, we're going to call it. Yeah. Well, we have to. So when is the first raffle going to start for those?
That is an excellent question. Probably within the next 2 weeks.
I was about to call you Musco. That's a great question. So it's going to come up in the next 2 weeks. How are we going to be able to win?
They're probably going to be one in stream, Twitch streams.
Yeah, but how? Like, is it going to just be exclamation point raffle? Or is it going to be like channel points? Like by the end of the month, whoever has the most points wins. Have you figured out how you're going to do it or not yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
All right. Well, for me, I personally am looking forward to it. I actually saw you open up one of the boxes on your stream last night, which was pretty sweet. And well, actually, you sent me a couple pictures of it during the day, which they are pretty sweet. What is your Twitch channel? If everybody doesn't know already,
www.twitch.tv/KOGAS with an underscore.
You forgot the second S.
Oh, I forgot the second S. I did. KOGASS with an underscore.
Like, am I here to like save the day for you and Nick and your terrible marketing campaign?
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Well, I personally, I say it all the time. I love watching your stream. I'm not a big fan of ranked PvP. I wish there was different modes for ranked PvP. We can discuss that at a later time. But I would say you making these guides, it just makes me excited for the future of SWTOR, just because there's so many new streamers, content creators, people on YouTube making videos. There's people everywhere making these videos, and I just feel like the community is growing. I feel like some of the older content creators have kind of, become one with the force. And there's still some out there, and they're doing their great job, but there's so many new people, which I'm really enjoying having around, because they're bringing life back to the community. And I just feel like the community is growing so much because of it. And now you're a streamer, and now you're making PvP guides. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Or guides on YouTube.
YouTube guides, yeah. That'll work.
Well, yeah. So, all right. So last episode, we went into like super duper adult themes, right? And we were talking about bidets. So I got a text message. I was at work from Kitty, and he's like, "Hey, there's a package at your front door. You should probably get it." And I was like, "Well, once I'm home, I'll grab it." Okay. So I get home, and I see the package sitting at my front stoop, and I grab it. And what is it? Kitty bought me a freaking bidet.
He got a bidet?
Yeah.
Bidet to use, sir.
Yeah, bidet to use, sir. I have not set it up. I kind of had a little injury happen to me. I don't really want to get into it too much, but this week has kind of been an upside down mess for me. And now that I'm back, I'm going to hook that thing up tomorrow because I'm dying to do it. And I was talking to him, and I told him I'm going to take a video of just my facial expressions the first time I use it when it hits the bullseye.
Oh, no.
And I'm going to send it to him.
Oh, gosh.
So,
Oh man.
yeah, so it was super nice of him. I think it's hilarious. Well, him and Nick both have them. Like I didn't never like I've used a bidet once, but like I never owned one. And I just think it's hilarious that that's where I don't want to say my life, but like this is where it's taken me. You know what I mean? To bidet town. I guess I should mention Nick, huh? So Nick's going away. He's pretty close to doing, I don't know what he's doing this weekend, but he said he was preparing, but he was out to dinner with his friends. And I was like, dude, no stress. We've been grinding out these episodes. And he's like, yeah, I'm pretty wasted. I'm probably not coming over for the show. And I said, no problem. Kogass can handle your parts. Okay. So I did not stream on Tuesday. I did not raid this week due to my wonderful injury. My head's been fucking scrambled. But what I did do is I did come back last night for a stream, which was super duper fun. And I completed the Sork story. If you've ever done the Sork story, which everybody on the planet has done except me, but now that I've completed it, the ending is pretty awesome. I was blown away by the ending. I enjoyed it a ton. And I'm actually, the ending of that story made me want to continue the story onto McKeb, which I'm not going to because I want to finish all of my class stories because I'm the laziest dude on the planet. But when I go back, I might use the Sork through McKeb and do the expansions because I've only done the expansions one time on my Marauder. Yeah, I've only done it once. So I feel like I could do it again and it would be like super fresh to me. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
For show.
Fresh.
Yeah, so Saturday, I will be back. Same bat time, same bat channel, and I will be starting the Jedi Counselor. We created the character last night. She's a female, green skin. I don't know what class that is or race. Do you? What's the green skin?
I thought it was Mare Lucan, but that might be the blind ones.
Yes, I don't know. I can't answer it because I don't know. I'm terrible with that stuff. And I guess I should know, but I don't. Anyway, so she's going to be an assassin melee. I guess she's going to be able to throw rocks, but it's my last class story. I think I'm going to go full dark side on her because I named her after my German Shepherd. So I'm going to make her mean as shit, even though my German Shepherd's super nice. But I'm going to make her all bark, no bite kind of a thing. I'm going to like talk shit all the way to the end. And when it comes time for a light side or a dark side choice, I'm just going to pick the light side choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotcha.
So I'll be doing that Saturday, which I'm super excited to make. My missing one day of stream sucks. Like, I feel like I miss everybody, but everybody's been so nice. Thank you, everybody, for reaching out and like making sure I'm alive and well. Kogass calls me like twice a day to make sure I was all right.
I listen, man. We talk so much that if you don't reach out to me, I'm like, is Marcus alive? Is he okay? What happened to you, Marcus?
Yeah, you sent me a picture of like your call history, and like the last like 5 calls you made were me.
I didn't make those last 5 calls. Those were the last 5 calls that were just done in general, all right? I didn't make all of them to you.
Well,
Half of those were from you to me.
Well, yeah, no. That's what I'm saying, though. Whether it's from me to you or you to me, it doesn't matter. What I'm saying is the last 5 calls were me.
Yes, it was all you.
There was no mom. There was no Mom Dukes or Daddy O or, Cousin Steve or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, the other game I've been playing a lot of, and I'm really, really, really loving it. Like, I think I found the second game that I really like. I've been playing Destiny 2. It's really fun. I loved Halo growing up, and I feel like it's the best of Halo with the MMO in it. Because, like, what I found is I like the MMO, like the never-ending game saga. You know what I mean? Like, there's always something to do. I've been grinding towards the soft cap, which I'm almost there. I'll probably get there tonight or tomorrow. But I'm enjoying it, man. It's a lot of fun to play. It's a complete different style of play than SWTOR, but I'm enjoying the shit out of it. And I've, just grinding out gear levels. So I pretty much all I want to do is raid. I haven't even done the new story or anything like that because I don't care about it. I just want to get my levels all the way up so then I can just raid. Because I've never raided in a shooter game before. And, I wanted to play Anthem when it came out because I wanted to do a shooter raid. And then that game flopped. So Destiny it is.
Oh, that's a big rip.
Which part?
Destiny. Anthem.
Well, you know why Anthem failed? Because they had Ben Irving in charge of it. Oh, bazinga. Even though Ben Irving helped create the greatest expansion ever in SWTOR's history. But that's a topic for another day.
I disagree with that one.
Oh, not me. Anyway,
let's go. Let's move it on.
Yep. So did you see the last Bad Batch episode?
I have not seen the last Bad Batch episode. No. Oh, I actually don't think I'm going to be watching Bad Batch. It's not capturing me. It really isn't.
So, okay.
So what happens? Go ahead and you can talk about it all you want.
No, I'm not going to. No, I want to break down what you just said. So I understand what you're saying, but it's like the first Light of the Jedi book for the High Republic, right? They're building a world for you that, yes, we already know what's going on, but I feel like they are just building because there's 16 episodes. I feel like they're just doing character building right now. I feel like it's going to make that turn to greatness, but I feel like it was like the first season of The Mandalorian, right? You had those first few episodes that were freaking awesome, and you were like, oh my God, I'm in it. And then they had those fluff episodes, and you're like, why? There's only 8 episodes or 6 episodes. Like, why are you putting fluff in here?
Well,
you know
which episode do you consider fluff?
The non-story driven episodes. Was it the Imperial Walker one? I'm trying to remember. I can't remember it. But there was a couple episodes that were like just fluff episodes for The Mandalorian where he just went on bounties. And I was like, okay. Like, you should have just done 4 episodes for the season and just kept it going, in my opinion.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? I feel like they fixed that in season 2. Like every episode was like you're biting your nails because it was progressing the story. Yeah, season 2 was awesome. Yeah. I mean, just the Dark Troopers alone made that show.
Man, that music for the Dark Troopers was epic.
Yes. And I still want to know how the Dark Troopers knew like Luke was there. Like, I want to know, is it because they injected like force into them? Like Grogu's blood into the Dark Troopers? Like,
right? They're force sensitive, so they can sense another force being, I guess. Oh,
I don't know. Like, there's some serious questions I had. Also, too, I know we're going on a complete rant here, but I'm curious to see where the show goes from here, in my opinion. Because are we going to just go back to, are we going to just go back to Mando's back to bounty hunting? It's a complicated profession.
Yeah, no, I think there's got to be a lot of, I think it's going to lead to Mando doing his own thing, trying to find the armor again, trying to find his people. That's what he's going to try to do, I think. Find his people, find where he fits, and there's going to be a lot of complications with the Darksaber. And what's her name? Bo-Katan? Is that right?
Yep, Bo-Katan.
There's going to be a lot of complications from her, and she's going to be an ally turned enemy because she needs the Darksaber to do what she wants, and she has to win it in battle.
So you think you think that Bo-Katan is going to be the big bad of this season?
I don't think she's going to be the big bad of this season, particularly. I think we're going to see this season. She's going to like slowly go from friend to frenemy to full on enemy. That she has to. The Mandalorian's just like, listen, I don't care. I don't want to fight. And she's like, no, we have to have this fight. I need my honor restored, and I need that dark saber. So
Sure.
You're mine. There's no ifs, ands, or buts to it. And he's gonna be like, listen, just take it. And she's like, no, I'm gonna kill you for it. And he's like, you're not gonna kill me for it. And that whole thing. That's how it's gonna get complicated. They're gonna figure out a way to make it nice and complicated.
Do you think we see Grogu again and Luke?
No, not for a while.
Well, you don't see. I think we see him again. I think the Star Wars community is so hooked on Grogu, they have to show him. And I feel like Mando is going to have to cross paths with Luke. Like at some way, somehow, the community is going to have to see Grogu. I feel like if they don't show him, like the fans will, I don't want to say be enraged, but they'll just be so disappointed that they don't get him.
Yeah, but I mean, you're gonna lose it. The value of Grogu if you keep him in the show for too long. I think next season we're not gonna see him, and then it'll be like, where's Grogu? Where's Grogu? And then they'll tease him the season after. I'm not entirely sure what's gonna happen, but there's got to be some teasing. They'll definitely bring Grogu back. There's no way they're gonna leave Grogu out from where he's at right now.
Right. Well, in SWTOR news, we got an update on Galactic Seasons. The update is I paid my way to the end on day 1. It's over. No grind. Do you want to move on? Oh, no, they actually said some stuff. How are you doing on it? Are you enjoying your Galactic season?
I'm enjoying it. I'm playing it on 2 servers now. Just kind of going
really?
on my own.
Tell me why.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, did you say 2 servers? What servers are they?
Satele, Sean, and Starforge.
Oh, wait. The second one, can you repeat the second one? I didn't hear it. It just came out so fast out of your mouth.
Yeah.
It sounded like...
I'm sorry. Was that a little
what was that
fast?
one?
Okay. Starforge.
Oh, so you're coming over to the correct server. Great.
Oh, man.
So what is it like doing the Galactic Seasons on 2 different servers? One of them being the best, which is Starforge.
Yeah, I mean, doing it on my main server, the best server, Satele Sean, the correct server, it's going well. I mean, I'm logging in every day, see what's going on. If I get like flashpoints or if I get operations, I'm like, well, not gonna get this weekly done. But the dailies, if they're killing mobs or doing dailies on planets, it's not that bad. I can fill in the time between rank pops to kill all those guys. So it's just something to do in the free time instead of gathering. That was the thing I was doing last season, was just gathering in between rank pops. I tell you how exciting that is. Let's go to this spot. Let's gather some stuff. Let's go back over here. I'm going to go over here. That's over. At least I can kill bugs in a circle now instead of gathering in a circle.
But at least you can do that in between your PvP queues.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was burping. I from my general community, I have found that people are enjoying doing it. People are doing things that they don't normally do. Where for me, I'm just like, forget that. I paid my way. I'm not going to do things I don't want to do in the game. And I don't want anybody to tell me how to play the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, it was fine. But I'm finding that people are like, oh, I played GSF today and I had fun. I only crashed into 467 asteroids, but I still had fun.
GSF is, I think it's the most underrated part of the game. Honestly, it's a lot of fun. I have underrated GSF for years.
I think it would be fun if they made a PvE version. Like if you could take a squad of like you and 3 of your friends and go try to take on, a PvE mission. And then at the end you have like a boss fight almost like a raid or like a flashpoint or something, I
Oh
think
yeah,
I
that
would
would be
enjoy it
cool.
more. But
That'd be awesome.
right, but doing a um PvP starfighter, I'm not into it. I get really sick, I think. But what they said was, when we looked at season 1, we considered a few key elements. Activity patterns we saw in player week to week conquest participation, where there was an opportunity to increase engagement, ensuring that the daily and weekly priority objectives fell into a certain time to complete range, and ensuring that no matter which objective you had, it was relevant to what you were able to actually participate in. So I think they hit the nail, like the ball out of the park with this. I think people are doing black hole dailies for the first time since, 2009 when they created it in BioWare's office. You know what I mean? I feel like they're getting people to play the things that they don't normally play, which is putting population of players on different planets all over the place. But the thing I don't like is that it's not the same thing for everybody. So you're almost restricting people to do stuff with friends. Because if I get operations and Kogass gets PvP, well, we got to do two different things. Now we can't play together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that's where the bigger guilds are able to succeed because they have enough people that are like, well, we have this operation that we need to run. They have that operation they need to run. All right, well, we can get 8 and 8 and go break.
That's right.
But that's why I don't do the flashpoints. That's why I don't do the operations, because I don't care to make those groups. I don't care to join those groups. Other people I know, they're like, I need to put together a raid group so that I can get this going and I can get this galactic season weekly.
Right. I personally, if I got operations every week, I would be fine with that. I just don't want to be told what to do. Anyway, they go into talking about all the objectives and everything that's available from the vendor. When things are going to reset, they're going to now reset every week at 12 a.m. GMT. I don't know what that is. Basically, that's when all the stuff is going to reset for Group A, B, C, of all the rewards that you can get. It's basically all the old items that they've released to all of us before, and they've just like really re-released it. So if you didn't get it, you can earn it again. Like Scourge of the Huts, like that came from Hut Cartel. I'm pretty sure it was a title. You can, it hasn't been available since. I don't have it, but some people may want that. Anyways, in AIE news, Tuesdays are our mandatory fun night, guild night, where the fun is mandatory, but the attendance is not. It runs from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern. We switch from the imp side to the we don't kill bosses, we befriend them pub side. But that's Tuesday. That's run by B. Kavanaugh. It's an awesome group of people. Please come and check it out. But Fridays now have also become, I don't want to say almost like it's another guild night. Friday nights are another guild night in AIE. So the first Friday of every month is Master Mode Flashpoints hosted by Malong. The second week is hard mode training with me. And what I've realized through the hard mode training is I'm a terrible teacher. I'm terrible at teaching people how to do these things. So it's actually doing me good trying to learn how to teach people how to do these fights, because I'm terrible at it. Because usually I'm just like, okay, I'm the tank. Marcus, you got to do these jobs. Don't worry about what the healers are doing. Don't worry about what the DPS is doing. And now during these fights, I have to worry that, healers, you can't stand here. DPS, you have to do this. You know what I mean? All the call outs of the fight. I'm not used to that. So as much as it's awesome for the new players, it's also a really big challenge for me. The third Friday of every month is achievement hunting. So Keuhu and B. Kavanaugh, they take people and they decide on an achievement that they're going for. and they set out and do it, whether it's like the Nerf herder calves or, PvP stuff, whatever it may be. They set out to do those goals because sometimes those achievements are better to do together. And then the fourth Friday of every month is the most important Friday of every month. Why? Because it's mega. And no, I'm not going to scream it like Nick does because he holds the cake when it comes to it. This past Friday, last week, we did Where in the Galaxy is SEMA San Diego. We traveled to the ice world of Hoth, where the pirates kind of stole SEMA, and you had to collect her booty. So basically, we toured the whole planet, and then there was the pirate leader, which was Max, and you had to duel him. Once you found her, you had to find Max and duel him in order to win the event. So we had a wonderful time. I'm looking forward to this next month. It will be on the pub side. They've bullied me into doing it.
Oh, yes. No.
Yep. Everybody says, is this Imper Pub? And they're like, if it's a Marcus event, it's on the Imp side. And I felt really bad. So I was like, nope, everybody will do pub side next month. So next month's mega will be on the Republic side. So make sure you bring your rainbows and sunshine and flowers, because there's going to be no battling. It'll all be befriending. It'll be like in Mortal Kombat, using your friendship. Instead of a fatality, you're using friendship. Yep. If all this sounds fun to you, go to aie-guild.org. Get the Discord information in the top right-hand corner. Click on the Discord, join it. Click on whatever game you are interested in playing. I mean, there's so many games in that Discord that they're playing all the time. I'm serious when I say, if you come into the Discord, you're going to find a game that you play that has an active community playing that game. And whether or not you play Star Wars: The Old Republic, which why aren't you, or any of the other games we play, just come play. Just come have us. Or stop by my join the Working Class Nerds Discord, because that has quite been a comedy show. So today, we're going to get salty today. We're going to be talking about what it's like in the SWTOR PVP world. So there's been a lot of chatter going on about how at the end, I'm going to break this down, Kogass, before you jump in. So at the end, like last season, there was a developer, I can't remember his name, who was gung-ho about getting people banned who are toxic assholes. And we as a group, I thought this was fantastic, because I played ranked PvP once, and I said I would never do it again because I played a match. I thought I did pretty good. I mean, I didn't kick butt all the way to Pizza Hut, but I wasn't the worst damage dealer on the team. And, and I wasn't the first to die. So that was, positives. But after the match and during the match, I was getting spam messaged by a few people. And then even after the match, like, I stopped queuing. I left. And this person was telling me that I should die and that I should never queue again because I'm the worst player ever. And then my parents should be ashamed of me because I'm the worst person on the planet. And I took some screenshots and showed Kogass, and he goes, I'm so sorry, but that's just the way it is. So I want to break down the good, the bad, and the ugly for ranked PvP, because I feel like if I got into it, I would really enjoy it, but getting past the toxicity is nearly impossible. So, Kogass.
Yes, sir.
What's going on with ranked PvP so far this season? What's new? What's old? What's the good? What's the bad? Let's start with what's up for this season so far.
What's up for this season? So this season so far is a little bit different than the last couple of seasons. We don't know exactly what is needed to hit each tier of bronze, silver, gold, top 3. They usually announce this at the beginning of the season. They did the past 2 seasons. This season, they haven't. So that's very different. We don't know what rating we need. We don't know if we need win requirements. the rewards, it's going to be a new weapon set. The lightsabers look pretty cool. And they put that up very early. Last season, it was some silly armor set. I mean, talk about disappointing. I mean, silly. The good is all of the previous ranked rewards are up for purchase. You can buy all of the old ranked rewards now.
Every one of them from all the seasons?
From pretty much all of the previous seasons. I think season 11 is the only, some decos from season 11 are the only ones you can't buy.
Wow.
But everything else is up for grabs. A lot of people are buying Furious weapons. A lot of people are buying those Furious armor sets. And yeah, people are really we're really wanting those Furious weapons, and they're finally out.
Does it make you feel as if it's not as special having it because now so many people have it?
Oh, no, it doesn't hurt me at all. I've had the Furious weapons since season 3. Other people have Furious weapons. I get to go, yeah, I have the OGs. Doesn't hurt my feels at all. I got to buy some of the new or some of the old mounts. I was like, oh, I got some of these mounts. I like it.
Sure.
You know, for me, it's the challenge of ranked PvP that I really enjoy. I'm naturally a very competitive person, and I know in stream, you know, I'm laughing, I'm a goofball. It's really strange how both my goofy end and my competitive end are both completely mixed in during my ranked matches, because you'll see me goofing off, you'll see me saying some crazy things in stream, and then once that round starts and once everything's going, I'm dead zoned in and I'm winning this match.
But isn't that the way it should be? Because the PvP matches, let's say each round lasts 5 minutes, right? Or 3 minutes. Yeah, let's say 3 minutes. So for 3 minutes, you focus up, you do your job, and then when that's over, then you can push forward on everything else. You know what I mean? For me now, I think that's, I don't want to say normal, but it's your go time. I feel like that's an easier way to stream rather than, for me, I'm always, you know, like when I do a pull on a nightmare boss, I mean, that boss could be 10 minutes before we die, and I feel like I lose track of chat and everything else. The other thing about ranked PvP that is nice is when you're in the queue time, you can chat with your people, your viewers, and like you can almost like, it's almost like subplot. You know what I mean? Like you have your game time, but then you have the free time to goof around and do all the things you want to do.
You mean doing pull-ups that somebody makes me do with all the massive bit donations that they do?
Well, I didn't create a pull-up stream.
You did
that. Wait. I know you did that. I didn't do that. I didn't say, hey, Kogass, why don't you start doing pull-ups for everybody? No, I didn't do that. What I did was I just used the meta that you've created and I broke it. So there's a difference. There's a difference. There's something about what you're doing that is motivational for some people. And personally, that's what I like to do. I like to see people do that stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
For me, I enjoy it, and I like seeing people do different stuff on their stream. You know what I mean? Like there's a streamer. Well, she goes by 2 names. There's Melody as a cat, which is the person. And then she has a channel, Piano Rogues. But like, I love watching her stream because she plays the piano and it's so different. You know what I'm saying? And I personally love watching that because it's something different. Where when you're streaming and you're doing something different that I normally do by doing pull-ups or squats or whatever, and it's hilarious. And then your stream was trying to get you to do it with your butt facing the camera. I was dying.
I have no idea how that happened. I don't know what happened. I don't know. They took control. You got to do it with the stream once sometimes. And I mean,
right.
Why people want to look at my butt while I'm doing a squat is beyond me, but okay.
Yes. Okay. So now let's get back to ranked PvP.
Okay. So, we're back in there.
So why is ranked PvP so toxic?
The biggest reason is because of rating. People want to have that high rating. People want to get into the next tier. There's a lot of I'm a good player.
Can you explain rating, please?
Rating is pretty much, since you're in ranked, you get rated, and the higher rated you are, the more rewards you're going to get at the end of the season. There are certain titles that you can't buy because you earn them with your rating. So, for example, last season, Bronze was titled the Invader. So if you didn't get a high enough rating of 1300 with 40 wins, you weren't going to get the Invader title. You were going to get either, that was Silver. You were either going to get Bronze with its own, token grant and title that came with it. So there's a lot of people that want to get a higher rating. Everybody wants to get gold. And then you have other people still who want to go for that top 3 title. And I definitely fell in this trap back in season 9 where, I get upset with teammates who didn't know what they were doing. And I was like, oh, come on, man, you need to, I can't carry you. You got to know some more stuff about the game. And because I'm, it gets to that point where if you lose one match, it takes 3 matches to get that rating back. It's kind of, you lose 13, but you gain 12 for a win. So even if you lose one game and win one game, you're at a net loss of 1. And if you continue that trend, you're still going to be -1, -1, -1, and those all add up. So it becomes you have to win 2 to make up for that 1 loss. And then eventually you get up higher, you need to win 3 to make up for 1 loss.
Okay.
So people overly invest, and people think they have, well, I am a gold tier rated player last season. I should be a gold tier rated this season. And that's just not always true. One thing we already discussed, that we don't know the ratings, but the maps, the map pool is different this season than it was last season. They took out Orbital Station and they took out Mandalorian Battle Ring. Those are 2
why
maps.
would they? Yeah, but why would they take maps out if there's only 5 maps?
So they took the maps out because in Mandalorian Battle Ring, people were dying as soon as they jumped down. That one I can understand why they took it out. Orbital Station, I don't know why they took it out. I do know people were dying when they spawned in, but once the timer starts and you have 30 seconds before the game or round starts, your character respawns at 100% health. So all you have to do is rebuff and you're solid. So that's why they took out those 2 maps. Both of them, for dying. One of them was as soon as you got out of the spawn point, the other one as soon as you loaded in. But those maps, were critical, and they were huge for classes that needed the kite, for players who need the kite, I should really say. Those are really the only 2 maps in the pool where there's 3 levels. You have your base ground level, you have your middle level with, the red and blue shield on each side, and then you have your top level. A lot of times people would start on the top level, and for classes, or for me specifically as a Juggernaut, being able to push somebody off at the top level and then root them with the saber throw was huge, or throw a grenade at them. The thing about those 2 maps is that they really punished players for poor positioning on attacks.
But that makes it exciting.
Exactly.
So it's just, I don't see why you would take out something that makes it exciting.
They took them out because of people dying, but we need those maps, and other maps that are still
just
in.
Fix them.
Yeah, I know, right? Just get the maps out there. You get it going.
So this could be one of my biggest gripes with SWTOR, is I feel like they put out content and they do stuff, but they don't maintenance the content enough.
Right.
Because the stuff you're saying, I feel like, why couldn't they make it so that your fall damage, you don't die if you jump off that map?
I don't know. It's something that was
Mandalorian Battle Ring. Why can't you just make it so you don't die?
Yeah, that's never happened in previous seasons. Season 12, that never really happened. But the thing is that people complain, or people say we've had the same meta for the past 3 seasons. I say other classes, maybe. Juggernauts, definitely not. Because the gear that I use is all crafted for ranked PvP. I have to have Force Bound and I have to have Grit Teeth. Those had to be crafted. Those did not come into the game until 6 months into Onslaught. So for the first 6 months of the season, I didn't have that gear. And then it took me a couple other months to figure out how to use that gear in ranked PvP. By the time that happened, the season's over. Season 12 was really hard for Juggernauts. If anybody got gold in season 12 as a Juggernaut, my hat's off to you. That's the only season since season 8 that I didn't get anything above gold.
Right.
So the meta was definitely different for Juggernauts then. Last season, the meta was probably the best for Juggernauts because I had that gear. I knew how to use it. I had my entire map pool. I had Orbital Station. I had Battle Ring. Those two maps, I force push somebody on those, and if they have bad positioning, they get punished for it. And they hate it because they're like, oh, I got knocked back. It sucks. But that's the whole point, is that I use what I have. I use the terrain around me. I'm good. I use a force push on Corellia Square. Oh, look, there's some rubble they landed on. They're right next to me. So that force push did nothing. A lot of people like Corellia Square. So they're boring. They're flat. There's no up and down on those maps.
But that's what I mean. Why would you take that out? Why would you take out something that has that, oh shit, I got to pay attention to where I'm standing? Is it because some operative can't just stealth out and run around the corner if they get pushed off while they're trying to heal themselves? They just cry. You know what I mean? And I'm just using as an operative as an example, but like, I feel like that's what makes the maps fun. It's just like if you're playing regular PvP and you go to Hutball and you land in the acid pool or the fire pit and you die, are you crying that you died?
No, dude.
No. Don't stand in the stupid. Isn't that rule number 1?
Yeah, absolutely. From rating. So that's one of those things. I know an Orbital Station, I believe, was probably the map that I could do this as a Juggernaut, was just out of combat healing. And that is something not very many times people are able to do. But, if you can get that off, that's even better. You kited a whole bunch of damage, you reset your stim. You got a lot of things going for you if you're able to get out of combat healing, and that map's out of the rotation. And I really wish, other games that I used to play StarCraft 2 and Warcraft 3 very competitively in solo ranked. And if you would go to the website or if you would go to the launcher, they would break down your win-losses against other classes. They would break down your win-losses on maps, and you can see how everything's going. And that's not available for SWTOR. I would love to see the numbers on my win-losses on Orbital versus my win-losses on Corellia. Because I used to not think that was a big deal. I was like, whatever, it's a 5% difference, 45 to 55. Or then I realized, oh, no, that's not a 5% difference. That's a 10% difference. I would rather win or have a chance to win 10% of more of my games with Orbital Station back in the rotation or Mandalorian Battle Ring back in, because those maps are made to punish players for bad positioning versus a flat map, which is Corellia or Tatooine. Tatooine is a very difficult map to kite on. It can be done. Rishi is another map that's still there. Rishi can be decently kited on. Not really. It's hard to do that. And Makeb with the bridge is it's definitely a punishing map on the bridge. But that's if you can get to the bridge. It's not the default fighting location. A lot of people like to fight to the side. It's not like those other maps where Mandalorian Battle Ring, Orbital Station, everybody goes to the top middle to fight.
Yeah.
You have to, you get to punish. Oh, I could punish a Sork for putting their phase walk in a bad location on Battle Ring, or I can be like, I know where they're putting their phase walk because they're trying to put it under. And sometimes I would actually be able to cut them off before they could put it down. And now I'm engaging this person before he's even got one of his biggest DCDs away from combat down. I put him in a panic. So that was always fantastic. And that's gone. That really stinks. So people saying that the meta hasn't shifted for the past 3 seasons aren't playing Juggernauts, and they're playing their flavor of the month classes that are benefiting from this entire season, from all these tacticals that we've gotten and the flat maps that we have.
Okay, so they've taken out the maps in this season, and now why do people get so toxic? And I know you say rating, but if I'm playing okay, so if I have, I don't know, what's the rating numbers? Let's say, okay, so I start off at 1,200. I think you told me that before.
Yep.
And I get up to 1,400, right?
Right.
I get up to 1,400 and I'm like, okay, I got gold or bronze or whatever, forget whatever level. We'll say silver. And then I just don't play that tune again. Do I keep that reward level, or does my ranked level decrease because I'm not actively playing it?
No, you don't. There's no rating decay in SWTOR. So if you hit that 1,400 and you hit that 40 wins, you're gonna get your silver. It's that those last 2 or 3 matches where you're trying to break into that next tier. Those are the nerve-wracking ones. But if you really want to ask why people are toxic, it's a sense of entitlement. They're entitled. They feel like they deserve to win every game because they're X, Y, and Z player. They've gotten the best. They know how to kill everybody. They're the best 1v1 players they know. They can kill anybody. They're playing the strongest class, and they're against this crap player,
Well,
and they have this other dude on their team who's, a quote unquote crap player, and they're like, what the fuck are you doing? Get out of my team. You're in my match. You're ruining my time to shine.
So, but the thing I don't understand is I played Call of Duty, right? That shit is competitive as hell. And it's not as toxic. When the match is over, you don't ever see those people again, or you might see them later on. And nobody is messaging you and telling you all these toxic things. And I've seen some of the toxic things that come across the screen. And this is where I feel like BioWare does not have their finger on the pulse at all. Because I've seen some really like racial slurs, some really offensive shit. And like, if that was in like Final Fantasy, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, those people would be banned instantly.
Oh, yeah,
and they're
absolutely.
just allowed to survive in this game. And I feel like there should be no excuse for it. And then talking to you and other players, these toxic players destroyed Satil Shan's ranked community.
Oh, yeah.
And what I don't understand is if somebody is an asshole today and they're doing things that are like that, and you ban them for the season, and then they come back in the following season, you don't think they're going to do it again?
Oh, they absolutely did do it again. And they were assholes last season. And they're still assholes this season. They're still assholes today. And it stinks because it is some point of thing that I brought up to the devs. I was like, hey, these players were pretty bad last season. They're still pretty bad. These are kids who are not going to change. And I do mean kids. They're immature. I don't see them changing anytime soon. You try to help somebody out and they just say, they use these racial slurs, and they use those racial slurs against me. They use, unnecessary words against other players. They've told people to do things to just, kill themselves.
Die. Yeah. I've been a part of that.
And then like a few weeks ago, one of them was told to drink bleach. You need to drink bleach before you queue ranked PVP or something like that. And it's just like, what the hell, dude? It's just a game. Relax, enjoy it.
Well, and I do agree with you on that. The big one for me is that I don't understand is once the match is over, why continue to berate somebody?
It's in the past. It's water under the bridge. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I cannot tell you what makes these kids tick because their level of toxicity, their sense of entitlement is beyond my comprehension. I never thought in life I, was given something and thought, hey, this is mine to have now. I don't deserve anything less than this. I've always had to earn what I have. I've always had to work towards it. And honestly, if I don't have to work towards something, there's no value to it to me. I didn't earn this thing. I didn't have to, some things are given to you. Those are great. Those are fantastic. But there's no things that are like that I have, that everything that I have that I care of value are things that I work towards. And some of these people just have that sense of entitlement that they've already earned this stuff, and I don't know what to tell you. They're just rude and toxic,
Well,
and it
sure.
sucks.
Well, there was a ranked PvP player who was the most toxic human being on the planet, and I feel like he got banned off Twitch because he's a toxic asshole. And I never actually interacted with this person directly. And then this person decided to pop up in my stream and be toxic to me while I was raiding with during my community night with my community. Like, we were just having fun, joking around, and this person came in my chat, was toxic. I banned him on my channel, and then they found me in a Discord, a server, and started messaging me that I was a piece of shit. And I didn't even respond. I just blocked the person. But I'm like, this is the reason why you got banned off Twitch and banned from, playing the game. Why do it? I just don't get it.
I don't get it either. I don't get it either. And that's kind of circling back. That gets back to my YouTube channel. I've been a part of this, and it's probably like the last thing that I'm shedding is this gatekeeping of ranked PvP. We want to keep ranked PvP gate kept. We don't want people to learn things because we had to learn things the hard way. I'm still learning things. I'm still getting things done. But you know what? I'm gonna do what I've been doing for the past in Twitch, and that's building other people up. You know what? I think this works out really well. This has worked for me. It helps me out. Here's a guide for you guys. Take it and run with it. If somebody's able to come up and say, hey, you know what? That's a good point. What about these other points? I'll be like, I like this. Let's talk. We can talk. Let's make a constructive conversation going on, and let's discuss what the best way to go. How can this Juggernaut class, who's been underperforming for seasons and for years in ranked PvP, get better? And that's what I want to do. Is I want to say, all right, let's let people understand what they need to know for ranked PvP so they catch up with everybody faster, and then they can add to it. Because right now it's, you don't know what you're doing, you need to get out of queue. No, if you don't know what's going on, hey man, we got this YouTube channel, we got this person who talks about your class, we talk about their DCDs that need to be broken down, we talk about utility, and if you really want to invest some time into ranked PvP, it needs to be thought of as nightmare raiding, and you need to put the time and effort outside of the match to get going. And that's something that if somebody wants to do, the resources are just not there. There's not a lot of information there. And there is some, but it needs to be consumable. It needs to be there for you to say, all right, I've got this. I can understand this. How does it all go together? And that's what we need to add. That's what we need to add to that. That's what my stream has. But, my stream has a limited audience versus what I can do on YouTube. So that's the big reason why we're putting it all on YouTube.
I feel like you should make a team of ranked PvP players that play different classes and get them. You guys all make guides and have it all in one channel. Even if your videos are on their channel and their videos are on your channel, just so somebody can go and be like, I play Marauder, or I play Operative, or I play Vengeance Jug. Where can I go to get this information?
Right.
So
yeah, there's a few. There's there, like I've said, Biggs is a big one, and Cease is another one.
Now, my last question. So, how do we fix the toxicity? Is it if you're playing ranked PvP, is it just keep sending messages to the devs about these players?
Be the change you want to see in the world, as Gandhi said. As tacky as I find that line, be the PvP player you want people to have. Obviously, yes, send those toxicity reports to the devs. I did hear recently, and I did notice that a few of those toxic players were missing out of Satil Shan's queue, and they were quiet, a little too quiet. You know how you have some kind of pain on the side of your neck, or you just have pain for years or for weeks. Yeah. And all of a sudden that pain's gone, and you're like, oh, the pain's gone. Is everything okay? Is everything working normal?
Right.
is it all there? Is there anything worse? And you know, through the grapevines, I heard, you know, they got a 7-day ban, and they got all their tunes are removed off the leaderboards. So, you know, maybe the devs finally listened, and maybe they got some of the players. Now, they didn't get all of them, but you know what? I'll take a start. You know, these guys were banned last season for a very good reason, and they continued their trend, and they got banned again this season. I would say, you know, 2 seasons in a row. And what's going to stop them from the next season? You know, how long into the next season until we have to worry about it? Do I have to worry about it the rest of this season? No. I'm going to have to worry about it in 6 months down the line. Well, I'd rather not. I'd rather just say, you know what, can we just keep these people out of the community? There's no need for them. What they did is they created a monopoly on ranked PvP where they had their friends and them, and then they could get a few other people to queue up who are locked to SWTOR for other reasons, right? If you're a ranked PvP player on SWTOR, that's all you did. You went over to Starforge. That's not a secret. But if you were a SWTOR ranked PvP player, but you had commitments to other things, to raids, nightmares, if you had you know, anything else that kept you on SWTOR, you had to queue up with this group of players, and they held a monopoly on it because they had 4 or 5 people that they would queue up, and then you'd only need another 3 or 4 players, you know. So they held a monopoly. Once those people, and a lot of people on there were just like, you know what, I don't want to queue because they're in queue. Once those people left, the health, it grew, right? It's kind of like in The Lion King, you know, when Scarface was in charge, the whole Pride Land was destroyed, barren, death. There's nothing, no food anywhere, right?
Right.
The hyenas rule the land, right? You know, you gotta kick those toxicity out, kick it out, and the Pride Land comes back to life. And that's what we started seeing last night. Hopefully it continues on for the rest of the season.
That's awesome. Let's do it. Hashtag make ranked PvP not toxic.
Hashtag make ranked PvP not toxic.
What are you guys talking about in here?
Find out next episode of Working Class Nerds.